Why I trust in God's assurance. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to talk about something that's really personal to me, my faith in God's assurance. Now, I know that not everyone believes in God or follows a certain religion, and that's okay. But for those of you who do, I hope this video will resonate with you. When I look up at the vastness of the universe and the beauty of nature, it reminds me that there is something bigger than myself out there. And for me, that something is God. I trust in God's assurance because it gives me comfort and peace. When I'm going through a tough time or facing a difficult decision, I know that I can turn to God for guidance. The Bible is my source of wisdom and inspiration. It's filled with stories of people who faced challenges and overcame them with faith and perseverance. And being part of a community of believers gives me a sense of belonging and support. Knowing that there are people who share my beliefs and are there for me when I need them is truly comforting. So, why do I trust in God's assurance? Because it gives me hope, strength, and purpose. It helps me navigate through life's ups and downs with grace and gratitude. Title: Finding Assurance in God, a Response to Doubts and Fears. A person sitting in a quiet room, looking unsettled and lost in thought. Doubts and fears are a natural part of the human experience. In times of uncertainty, we often turn to something that can provide us with assurance and peace. Peace and comfort, knowing that God is listening and cares about us. Reading the Bible is another way to find God's assurance. The Bible is full of promises from God, and when we read these promises, we can be reminded of His love and faithfulness. Serving others is also a way to experience God's assurance. When we serve others, we are showing God's love to them and can feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment. This can bring us peace and comfort, knowing that we are doing God's work. Having God's assurance doesn't mean that life will be easy or that we won't face challenges. But it does mean that we can have faith and trust in God's plans for our lives. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.